Hi, everybody. This is Jennifer, and this is my first vlog, and I wanted to talk about trying to conceive with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. Excuse this hot mess here. I'm at work, so been a busy day. Just taking a break. But I guess I could start with that I'm married to a great guy named Jeff who just totally completes my world, and he is completely understanding of the infertility process and everything that we have to go through as a couple in order to achieve our baby. So we started trying to conceive with treatment 3 years ago, just after our wedding. And we started with an OB, and he started us on Clomid, which is pretty much the drug of choice for doctors as far as infertility. We took 50 milligrams of Clomid, and there was no response. I did not ovulate or anything. We then moved on to 100 milligrams of Clomid, and I ovulated and got pregnant, which was a complete surprise. We did not expect it to happen that fast, and I was basically told that this process of infertility with PCOS was going to be a long journey, and I'll be pretty lucky if I even was able to get pregnant and have a child. So I know all doctors are different, but this guy is pretty, he's pretty, I guess, what's the word? He just, I guess, is negative, and he does not give you much hope, and it's not the doctor to really have, which is why I'm seeking a new OB right now. But we did decide, after 5 failed Clomid 100 milligrams after the miscarriage, we did decide to see a fertility specialist who is a great guy, has taught me some things that I did not know about with PCOS, which is surprising because I'm a Google fanatic. Not to mention I have a great support system with women who have PCOS and suffer from infertility, that honestly I cannot live without these women. They seriously, is so nice to have somebody who knows what you go through on a day-to-day basis, who understands damn near, 100% of what you're going through. So I just totally love these women, and I think they're fantastic. But back to trying to conceive. We went to the fertility specialist in January of 2011, and we had some tests done. I had a similar test to an HSG, which is where they shoot dye into you. I had where they shot saline into me. So they looked at the uterus, they could see any abnormalities, and also they could hopefully see the tubes open, which my doctor was surprised because he did see bubbles come through my tubes, which indicates that your tubes are pretty much open, or that they are opened. So he was pretty surprised at that, being that I'm a heavier person, but it worked, and it was all clear, good indication that everything was a go. And then my husband had a sperm analysis done that came back okay. It wasn't 100%, but it wasn't bad, and it wasn't, mediocre. It was good. So we were happy with that, those results. He said that we should have no problem with that as far as trying to conceive naturally through timed intercourse. So he then recommended for us a drug called Femera, which I'm sure if you're involved with the PCOS community or anything like that, you know what that is. It's just another ovulation induction medication. It is not FDA approved for ovulation induction like Clomid, but it is well known to help women with PCOS to ovulate. So it works a little different than Clomid. I believe it pulls more of the estrogen, the estrogen side. There's no blockers, which Clomid I believe is more of a blocker. But the good thing about Femira also is the side effects. With Clomid, I was raging. My poor husband could not do anything right. My family could not do anything right. I just was out of control. But besides that, it wasn't too bad. Clomid sometimes thins your lining, where the Femira is not supposed to thin your lining. So I did 2 rounds, both monitored with ultrasound and blood work. The ultrasound showed follicles growing. I ended up with some good follies that were released by a trigger, which is an HCG shot. An HCG is the pregnancy hormone, and this helps to release the follicle, so you know when ovulation is, and better timed intercourse. So we baby danced, we did everything we were supposed to, and did not fall pregnant. So my doctor felt that, based on my blood tests, that my thyroid was not where he wanted it. My thyroid was at a 2.8, and he wanted it below a 2. I had a major issue with that because everything I read, and even my general doctor, stated that anything over a 3 to a 5 is considered hypothyroidism, where, like I said, mine was 2.8. It was more borderline, but he recommended that I take some thyroid medication and get that to where he would like it. So, being that he is the miracle man in my eyes, or who has helped many women to conceive, I went with his suggestion, and I started taking Synthroid, which is a hyperthyroidism medication. So we did that. It took about 2 months to regulate it to where he wanted it, which was below 2, and we got there. And we started again with Femira. But at this time, my husband received a call on a new job that paid better. It was in the union. It was a big break for us as far as making some decent money, especially in these economic times. And in Michigan, it's been very tough with the auto industry, which it's starting to pick up really well. And he took the job. So we lost our insurance, and we had to wait 3 months, 120 days for insurance, which typically it's a 90-day wait, but being that this is union, it was 120 days. So we had to wait, and I asked my doctor if I could do a couple rounds without insurance, if I could do a couple rounds of the Femira, and he let me do 2 more rounds for a total of 5 rounds of 5 milligrams, all the same milligrams I did, and nothing happened, no pregnancy. So we then, I tend to be impatient when it comes to trying to conceive because I want this so desperately and so badly, that I turned around and did some research through my support group, Google, the internet, everything I could possibly read, YouTube, for a remedy or something I could do during this 3-month wait that could help me potentially get pregnant on my own. And I came across an herb called Fertility blend. And what that is it's loaded with vitamins, most of your prenatal vitamins, along with some herbs. And the herb that is most talked about is Vitex, which is cassberry tree. I have tried to use Vitex a long time ago before I started treatment, and it did nothing for me. But the reviews on this mixture were exceptional. They were clinically somewhat proven that this can help you, and this can help women with PCOS. This can help you get your menstruation back. This can help you get pregnant. And of course, they talk this big hype that you can get pregnant in 3 to 6 months and yada, yada, yada. And I talked to my husband, and we both were really skeptical. We both were like, okay, yeah, right. You know, like, okay, we'll take vitamins and all of a sudden I'm going to magically have a cycle and everything's going to be great. And the price was pretty decent. It was $130 for 3 months supply, and that was both for him and myself. So fertility blend for men and women. The men's formula helps with motility and count, which my husband has never had a problem with, but it couldn't hurt. So he was already taking a daily vitamin, so the transition for him to take that was not bad at all. The women's formula, you have to take 3 pills a day, which is a little tough, but honestly, anything is worth it at this point. So we started taking the fertility blend in October, and 1 month and 12 days later, I ovulated. And I cannot tell you how shocked I was, because I was charting my BBTs, and when I seen the temp shift, I was like, this is unreal. I was taking also OPK, so I had an inkling that I was going to ovulate because I did get a positive ovulation test. But to see that temp rise was just like, wow. I mean, I did this on my own. I did this through natural stuff, no chemicals, you know, besides the vitamins and herbs. Just unreal. So we of course baby danced and nothing came of it, but I had a great cycle. After ovulation, my temp stayed steadily high until menstruation, which my period was 4 days long. It was not bad, barely no cramping, just a normal period. Like, my body was actually doing something for once by itself. So I'm at the point right now, I am CD 14 or 15. I think I'm 14. But I'm taking OPKs. I'm hoping and praying for ovulation again. Right now I'm not getting too many signs. I started cramping a little bit today, but nothing to write home on, you know. And I'm just hoping it wasn't a fluke last month and this all just sort of just happened. But I'll take it, you know. I thought about, you know, stopping now that we do have insurance. Our insurance went into effect in December, and I thought maybe I should stop the fertility blend and go back to the treatment. But for so many reasons that this could just be it, and it could be our miracle baby, that I want to give it a little bit longer of a shot. So that's pretty much my story right now. I'd like to continue to vlog and let you guys know kind of what's going on and get your support. I've been watching a lot of vlogs for a while, just kind of in the background, and now I'm trying to reach out for a little bit more support and see what you ladies are doing, and if there's any help out there, that's great. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.